So start with saying your name and then a physical description of what you look like.
My name is Rylee Davis. I'm about 5'4", a skinny, long-legged girl, um, and I'm black, and I have a curly ponytail right now.
How old are you?
I am 13 years old.
And where are you from?
I am from Ohio.
So what's your favorite food?
My favorite food is French toast. I love French toast so much.
Tell me a fun fact about you.
A fun fact about me is I really like cooking. My favorite thing to cook is French toast. I learned how to make it when I was young, and ever since then, it's like my go-to breakfast meal.
What is your mission or what's your cause? What are you doing?
So basically what I do with the Rylee Show is I do interviews and also hosting. My mission is to be a role model for young girls and even teens that are my age.
So tell me, how are you doing it? How are you being a role model?
How I'm being a role model is I've been working and doing blessing bags and giving back to the homeless. I also started when I was younger, about like 4 or 5 years old, with doing like Black History things and like showing Black History facts to kids that are my age. And I did it in like fun ways. I would like show what the item was and then say who created that item and like how it's important in Black History, so people like who are younger than me could like kind of understand Black History and learn the importance of it.
And what's an inspirational quote that you like to live by?
An inspirational quote that I like to live by. Hold on, let me think about this. An inspirational quote that I like to live by is "Don't wait to be great."
So what was the moment that made you want to start doing this sort of activism work?
The moment that made me want to do activism, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it activism. I just kind of see myself giving back to the community because the community has done so much for me. I would go around and my mom's friends and people that would watch the videos would be like, "Oh, I saw your last week's Black History video and I learned da-da-da-da." So I kind of like I was learning that people were actually listening to me and my voice actually mattered to people, if that makes sense, and they were like learning from me.
What is motivating your purpose? What's a personal reason, motivator?
My personal goals are probably to, again, give back to the community and use my gifts and talents to give back to the community, because we're all born with gifts and like we use them in different ways. And my way is definitely using my voice. So as I get older, I really want to become successful off of using my voice and doing like acting and things like that, and just like entertaining and making people happy.
What would you say are your gifts or your talents, and how are you using them?
My gifts and my talents are using my voice and teaching young kids. For example, I work with PBS Kids, and I do like little things that they show in classrooms that like teach the kids, whether if it's about like engineering or if it's about like a historical figure and all those things. So I just like to use my voice to like teach other people, and I also do voiceover work, which is also for kids. So I want to work with people who are younger than me and have somebody that's good for them to look up to.
Where do you see your journey going next?
Next, I definitely see myself doing more in acting. I already do acting and voiceover work, but like I really, really, really want to get into it. I still enjoy hosting and interviewing and stuff, but I think I would make more of a living off of acting and stuff as I get older.
What was the moment that made you want to start?
The moment that made me want to start doing what I do now is definitely watching people who were like older than me, like when I would watch shows with like Zendaya on it, or even watching like the own people in my household, like my mom, do things that she really loved. I knew that I wanted to do my passion, because there's some people who work and they don't have fun but they make good money, and then there's other people who work and they're doing their passion and they're having fun, so it doesn't really feel like a job. And that's really what I want for myself as I get older.
How do you see your business sort of causing change or creating change?
How do I see my business creating change? Well, I see my business creating change without like the younger community. Like I want to always like represent myself well and make sure like I'm helping my community, but like my goal is also to not just help my community but communities around the nation and stuff, and like really putting a smile on people's face. So I guess I would say that representation matters, because there are people who are like older than us that aren't representing themselves well, and those are the only people that they have to look up to, and there's like a lane to fill, and I feel like I'm the good person to fill that positive lane that's also entertaining people and like keeping them motivated, I guess. And also as like a young Black girl, I feel like there's not enough people in the industry that are doing what I do.
What is the culture that applies to what you're doing?
So, as an African American girl, again, representation matters so much that throughout the community, I make sure I work with other African Americans, whether they're young entrepreneurs and they have businesses, or they're aspiring actresses, or maybe even singers and rappers. And I think that I do a good job of helping those around me and like lifting us all up, if that makes sense, because I feel like there's not enough Black people in the industry and like representing ourselves well for other people to look up to us and like be an inspiration to others. So not just for me, but also for the people around me that are also trying to get into like the industry and stuff.
What is your cultural background and how does it affect your work?
My cultural background is, of course, I'm an African American, and it affects my work in ways that I open up more opportunities for young Black girls and stuff. Cause like like whether if it's like a Black cultural festival or if it's like a young Black entrepreneurs market or something like that, like it's kind of like more of like a community.
Have you ever had to travel for your work to spread your message?
Yes, I have traveled regionally to spread my message. I went places like, I would say like a few hours away. One time I worked with a big TV star and I was hosting her show. I was like opening for her before she rapped, and I had a lot of fun doing that, and I actually was able to work with her a couple of times outside of that, and it was super fun. I hope as I get older I'll be able to travel more because since I'm a minor and all, like sometimes those things kind of like can be changed due to my age. But as I get older, I definitely see myself traveling more. But like also it's kind of hard sometimes because like I'm a kid, so as far as like school and stuff goes, sometimes I might have to like take off of school or like do online for a week because I have to travel somewhere, whether if it's for hosting or if it's for acting or doing what I do in the Rylee show.
What do you wish adults knew about teenagers today?
Things that I wish that more adults knew about teenagers is definitely that mental health is important. Like a lot of adults already get the gist of that, but I wish that all adults got the gist of how important mental health is, especially in today's generation.
So who are your supporters? Who are your rocks? Who tether you and make you feel brave?
My supporters are definitely my mom and my dad. I literally would not even be sitting in this chair if it wasn't for them. Like a lot of kids think that they want to get into the entertainment industry, but they don't have the right support system. And luckily, I was blessed with two amazing parents that support me in every step of the way.
Who has inspired your work?
Zendaya is probably like the main person. Also like Sky Jackson, just like girls that like kind of look like me, and I see myself being in their position when I get older as far as acting goes. Like especially Zendaya, because she's been doing things with like Disney Channel, and then she had her own whole show. Like I hope that I can do things like that as I get older and be that successful.
How has the image of yourself changed while doing your work?
My image honestly hasn't changed too much, and if it has changed, it's only changed for the better, because like I've been able to find my passion more and what I want to do as I get older and like continue my life. And most kids my age don't know what they want to do this early on in life, so I think it's only changed for the better because I've gotten more comfortable in what I want to do, and I figured out what I love to do. And like honestly, it just helps me like go on with life because I already have like a plan, I guess you would say, for like my future.
How have you noticed other people changing because of the work that you're doing?
Well, as far as like the community goes, honestly, they've only done anything but like lift me up. Honestly, like now that people are like familiar with the Rylee show, like I'll see them, they'll be like, oh, when's the next time that you're doing the Rylee show? Like, oh, are you gonna be interviewing people today? And they say all those fun things. But when it comes to like my friends and stuff, honestly, my friends that I grew up with and they've known me for a long time, they know what I do as far as work. And I do my best to separate my work life and my personal life, but also like normalizing both, I guess you would say. And honestly, the community, they also give back more because they always like provide and open up opportunities for me because they know what I can do and what I have been able to do.
What are some opportunities that your community has given to you because of what you've been doing?
Yes, opportunities that my community have given to me is hosting opportunities. Actually, for several years, I've hosted this community talent show that we hold in my community. It is so fun. I'm always the co-host, so eventually, hopefully, as I get older, I can be like the main host of the stage. I've also like did things like hosting like other events like the Kids Corner at the African American Cultural Festival that was in my area. I'm also a part of this group, so like me being a part of the group has also opened up. Like the group is like doing things for the community, but it's more like hands-on things like folding clothes or like doing like helping with the homeless, like more hands-on things. Oh, and also I do like really try to do my best as a kid to represent HBCUs, which is historically black colleges or universities. And my mom actually has this event, and I've been helping a lot with that. And also, I like try to make it important for kids my age to know what HBCUs are, so they would want to go to one when they get older.
Do you plan on going to one?
Yes, I do planning to go to HBCU. Right now, my dream college is FAMU, which is in Florida.
What are some daily practices that help keep you centered?
Practices that definitely keep me centered is, some people might disagree with this, but probably playing video games, honestly. Like, it's kind of like an escape for me. Also, like sleeping, maybe going on a walk with my mom, grounding, just being outside also is like a big help. A lot of times just doing things alone. Like, you don't have to necessarily be lonely when you're alone, and I feel like that's kind of important to know.
What video games do you play?
I love playing Roblox. Oh my gosh, I love playing Roblox, and I like to build houses on Bloxburg. I gotten really good at it. If you join my game right now and you see my house, it is so pretty. I spend hours upon hours like putting together these like really pretty homes, and it's also helped me discover another passion of mine, which is probably going to be real estate as well.
Have there been difficult days in your journey, and how have you made it through?
There has definitely been difficult days in my journey. I feel like in everybody's journey there's going to be difficult days, but ways that I've made it through is definitely keeping a motivation, something that's going to keep me going, keep me looking forward to what's next. And like motivations, whether if it's something like big, like, oh, I'll be able to have a cool fun party, or just something small, like, oh, I'll be able to hang out with my friends this weekend, maybe have a sleepover, like little things like praying, and also knowing that like the bad and sad moments are only gonna last for but so long. Like, it might be a bad day, a bad week, but it's not a bad life, and like I'm gonna be able to overcome it.
What is something that you're proud of?
Something that I'm proud of is genuinely how far I've come. Like, I've been able to say that I've been doing what I do for a majority of my life. And some people think that they want to do it and they give up really fast. And I'm like honestly happy with myself how I haven't given up. And even through the tough times, and even through the bad days or bad weeks, I've been able to overcome that and keep going. So like now it's just kind of like, I don't know, I just keep like a life attitude. Like, this is really what I want to do, so I have to keep going and keep doing it.
So why are you choosing to spend your time doing what you're doing?
I choose to spend my time doing what I'm doing because I feel like there's like a lane that needs to be filled as far as like young black girls or just young people in general, as far as like positivity and stuff. Because as far as social media goes, there's a lot of negativity and like hate that's in this world, and I feel like there needs to be more people that are like lifting people up instead of putting people down. And whether that's like helping the community or even just being alone with myself, like I feel like I can do things to make people happy and entertain people.
What do you say to people when they're feeling down or when they're feeling upset or depressed? What do you do personally to help make them feel better?
I always remind them that it's temporary. Feelings are temporary and feelings are normal. That's something that I've had to learn as I grew up. Like, just because I'm crying now or I'm really happy now does not mean that it's going to last forever. So you also have to cherish those moments, even when they're sad or happy, because things don't last forever and time is so valuable.
So how have these other people who are similar, how have they contributed to what you're doing? So how have they sort of like paved the path? Have they made things harder for other, young black girls to get into this?
I think personally, they've generally just made it better and easier, just like showing me that it is possible for somebody that looks like me, or even just for a girl, for a female in general. So like definitely people like Oprah have definitely showed me that it's possible and I can be just as successful as her, and I can be one of the best of all time.
What are your favorite books or motivational songs that keep you going?
My favorite song that definitely keeps me going is Why Aren't You Smiling by Janae Aiko. And my favorite books that I like to read is, I'm personally like a graphic novels girl, so I like books like Smile and Sisters by Renaya Telgemeier and Friends, those kind of books, or Babysitter's Club books, because they're like based on true stories and they're very relatable for me as a middle school girl.
But what is something that you would tell your younger self?
Something that I would tell my younger self is it's only up from here. Like, it's only gonna get better from here. Of course, there's gonna be our bad moments and bad times, but like in the end, it's gonna be worth it. And I'm gonna look back on all this and I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna be so proud. Like, I can't wait to have like my I made it moment. And like, that's of course in the future. So just like keep striving for that.
How would that, what you would tell your younger self, differ than what you would tell your future self?
I don't think I would tell my future self anything, but I would definitely ask my future self questions. Like, like, are you happy with what you're doing now? Did you like succeed? Are you still have like the same support group around you, or who's some of the new people in your life? I would definitely ask more questions and like tell them.
What would you like to be remembered for?
I would love to be remembered for like entertaining and like a good actress, like kind of as if I see like Zendaya, like you see her and you see like a great actress that's really successful and plays many different kinds of roles and even made her own show. So I would really, really want to see myself like that, but not necessarily like another version of her, like my own self, like my own name. Like you see Rylee Davis and like you know who they're talking about, kind of stuff.
What problems do you see in social media?
Problems and things that I see on social media are definitely a lot of negativity. Because you're behind a screen, it's easier for people to say kind of whatever they want to and feel more like free-minded with social media, because they know like it's easier to do things online than say something to somebody's face. So I feel like there's a lot of negativity on social media, and also a lot of false like claims and like a lot of like people just driving people in bad directions, whether if it's like somebody making a cooking video and them giving you like the wrong recipe, or if it's some things that are more like serious. I guess people like really like drive people in the wrong directions and give people like the wrong beliefs, I guess you would say. And I guess it's easier to do that because you're behind a screen and you can like fabricate and like change things a lot on social media. Like whether if you're taking a screenshot of something and you're like changing the words, or if you're like editing a picture of somebody, in social media it's kind of like a big issue of how like I guess how like AI and all those things work and how powerful they are.
What would you like to change about social media? What are some actions that you would like to take to improve it?
Actions that I would like to take to improve things on social media definitely start with probably like banning people more, if that makes sense. Like reporting accounts, making like when you report an account, you know that something could actually happen to that account if somebody's spreading hate or negativity, or if, even if somebody's pretending to be you. Also, a lot of times people's accounts get hacked and banned a lot, and I wish that if I could, I would be able to change that, or like know that me reporting somebody's account for like doing a hate crime or something, like something will actually get and be done about that.
What ideas do you have about making online experience better for teen girls?
Ideas that I would have to make social media better for teen girls is probably like certain apps that are like special for us, if that makes sense. Whether if it's like tips and tricks as far as hair or cooking or clothes or fashion or style, kind of like a kid safe, a kid friendly, or a teen friendly platform that's just made for us.
Are you posting your talk show videos on like YouTube or Instagram, TikTok?
So social media is honestly like one of the biggest parts of my career, because I started on Facebook and then now I've been venturing more into Instagram, and that's mainly my main platform where I post all my stuff on. But if you do want to find my stuff on Facebook, it is The Rylee Show, Rylee. And if you want to find my stuff on Instagram, you can look up Rylee space D, Rylee D, or the _real_Rylee D to find my stuff on Instagram.